a north, maybe a north heading, so we don't get too much farther away. Let's go to a north heading.
Okay.
Keep going here.
Washington traffic, incremental 9er Tango Fox, turning right base 15 Washington, full stop.
It'll work.
34 traffic, Skyhawk 871.
If you don't mind, I'd like to show you something, but I want you can have your hands on the controls, feet on the controls, so you follow me through, and I won't do it too many times because I don't want to make a mistake in traffic. So what we're going to do, again, I don't really have a really good reference point, but maybe you try to pick one of your own that has kind of been straight in front of the nose about out there that you can kind of reference. So what we'll do is I'm going to just show you why we need to use rudder when we're rolling in and out of a turn and why it matters. So the idea is, in order to stay coordinated, as I roll in and out of the turn, the nose should stay more or less like it's on a skewer, like it's got a pole going through it from the tail to the tip. And when you turn, that it should stay. That axis of the airplane should stay going the direction that you want it to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're not skidding or slipping.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. So now I can make a turn in either direction, and if I roll in nice and slow, eventually I'm going to go that way because I'm turning that way.
Okay.
But the nose of the airplane is more or less staying coordinated, and the ball would somewhat agree with that. And then if I roll out really slow, it's not really a big deal. I don't get a whole lot of adverse yaw because there's such a minimal. Adverse yaw happens because when you're rolling, one wing has more drag than the other, and so it slows down this side of the airplane more than that one, you know what I mean? So it's got more drag. So the draggier side of the airplane, it wants to yaw that direction.
Okay.
So if I roll, let's just say what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll to the left. I'm going to roll to the left kind of quick, but I'm not going to use any rudder. And you're going to see the nose of the airplane swing out to the right.
Okay.
So start here. Yeah, it swung out there. Now I'm going to roll back to level, and when I roll back to level, you're going to see it swing out this way. You can kind of feel it in the seat of your pants, and then it kind of comes back to center.
Yep, I got you.
That's not using any rudder, so that's not necessarily a good way to fly. You want to stay nice and coordinated. So that just goes to show you when you go a little faster, it's more accentuated, I guess, and your need for rudder is more. So the proper way to do a turn like that, or any turn, and again, it's dependent upon how fast you roll, but so if I go to the right, clear to the right, I use a little bit of right rudder. When I get the bank angle established, I'm going to relax rudder, and when I go to roll wings level, I'm going to use some left rudder. Now you didn't see that nose doing this number. And the same thing going back to the left. Clear that way, so use some left rudder. Now we turn, rudder's gone. I'm neutral on the rudder. I pick a spot I want to roll out on, right rudder. And you always probably have to use a little bit more right rudder than you will left rudder, but you'll get a feel for it. So you've got the airplane now. So let's just, I'm not looking for perfection. I just want you to maybe see, hopefully you saw it. It sounds like you did.
Yeah.
And we'll just practice a little bit. So let's go ahead and start a right-hand turn, and then I'll just tell you when to roll into a right-hand turn. And I'll tell you when.
Coordinated, or?
Say again?
You may do it coordinated with the rudder?
Yep. I just did it uncoordinated so you can see what it looks like.
Okay.
So you do it coordinated as best you can. We'll start one to the right. Whenever you're ready, you're clear to the right.
Clear right.
Roll, yep. Okay, so roll wings level now, that's fine. Let's go ahead and do another one to the left, and then I'll tell you when to stop. So just roll in and get your bank angle set, and then I'll tell you when to roll wings level.
Okay. All right, I'm clear left.
And then relax the rudder, yep. A little bit of nose back pressure there, you can see. That's okay. Right about there now, let the nose right there. Now roll wings level, right rudder. Okay, not bad. At least your feet are moving. This is a good thing because, man, I see a lot of people that fly with their feet on the floor. It makes me half sick because it's just like, come on, guys.
Okay.
So that looks really good.
I know I was going down way too much there.
That's okay. Like I said, I don't care, but we'll get those things in there. I just wanted you to see the coordination because that's so fundamental. And that just, if you can fly coordinated from day one, this makes everything so much easier.
Okay.
Okay, let's make a left-hand turn to like a heading of, say, south.
Okay.
So go ahead and start a left-hand turn. Yeah, see, very minimal need for left rudder in that turn just because you didn't roll in super fast. So window is awful hazy. Can't really see out so good. So that's Fine Airport, I do believe, and then Osage, and then on down to Stars, I do believe.
Oh, that's Lacey Fine right there?
I think so.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Been a little, like I said, not super familiar with the area, but that'd be my guess. Yep, sure enough, it is.
34 traffic 162 to 4 minutes, left downwind on 162.
And ours is on down that way, so.
Right downwind on 162.
So,
see that runway, Michael?
Yeah, over there. So, climbs.
All right.
You got the idea of the climb, you got the idea of the turns, coordination in the turns. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to set up for a little bit of slow flight. We're going to slow the airplane down, and you'll find that your need for rudder and coordination and keeping your turns coordinated with when you're going slower is more. When you're going faster, you've got more air moving over the rudder itself, so the same amount of movement, the same amount of deflection, it does a lot more. So when you're going slower, you've got to actually push harder on the pedal because you're going slower. There's less air moving over your control surfaces. So, and slow flight is a maneuver that you'll have to do on your check ride. So, what we're looking for now is you kind of pick a reference. There's like a white building or something on there. That's a great reference. So, what we'll do is let's bring the power back to about 2200 RPM or something like that.
And Miami County traffic, Skyhawk 346 Kilo, 10 miles northeast.
Now, if you do nothing else,
for landing runway 21 straight in.
If you do nothing else, you let go of the controls, and you had it trimmed nice for level at 2400 RPM. If you pull the power, it's going to go down. So, in order to maintain altitude, you're going to have to add a little bit of back pressure,
Right.
and you're going to have to retrim the airplane. That's exactly normal. You can go ahead and do that. Again, I'm not necessarily hoping that you hold an exact altitude, more just hold whatever altitude you're at. So that's fine. Looks good. Now that put us below the white arc on the airspeed indicator, which means, okay, we can use flaps.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to add 10 degrees of flaps, and when you do it, I'll add it for you. I just want you to watch the airplane on the horizon and feel what it's going to do. It's going to have a tendency to pitch a little bit. So below 85, we're going to go flaps 10. So just kind of hold it level as best you can. See it want to pitch up like that?
Yeah.
So that's just the addition of flaps, and it'll become something that whenever you reach over for 10 degrees of flaps, you're going to push a little bit forward on the yoke because you just know it's coming.
Okay.
It wants to pitch up.
So do you mean reset trim?
Yep, trim as necessary, yep. So that's just 10 degrees of flap, and we're already slowed down to like 68 or 70, so a lot of drag. And once we're going to do this in 10-degree increments, and you'll find that you probably have to even use a little bit of power because now you got so much drag, you need more power to overcome it.
That's affirmative.
So we're going to go 10 degrees more. This will be 20 degrees of flaps.
Okay.
We're ready for it that time.
Yeah, well.
There's a crushed statue somewhere in here. We can't find it.
All right, I'll go 30 here. Really feel them out.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of going off the indicator. I'm assuming it's fairly accurate.
I didn't notice it.
And there's 40. I guess that's a lot of drag. Now you're going to have to add a little bit of power, so go ahead and add some power. Right on in there. Don't be shy. Now, this is about the most that you're ever going to need with right rudder. You can feel.
Yeah, I can see I'm starting to go, yeah.
You're kind of tipping the wing. So level your wings and use rudder to keep yourself going. I don't mind if you go like way power. Go right in there on it. We'll watch temperatures, of course, when we're going to this slow and high power setting. But you can see you need a lot of right rudder because you're not going very fast. There's not much air moving over the controls, but you've got a lot of drag, so and a lot of power. So those things all combined. So what this would simulate is, hey, I'm coming into land and I do a go around. When you punch, the first thing you're going to do on a go around, say somebody pulls out on the runway or you don't like the setup for your approach, when you hit full power, it wants to yaw hard to the left, and this is how much. You can feel how much that is. I want you to have that feeling in your mind. So if you go around, power goes in, right foot goes down because you got to overcome that yaw. And then as you're going around, you would also then start to come up on the flaps, not all at once because you're going to sink up quite a bit. You're going to come up on the flaps like about 10 degrees at a time just to get rid of that drag. So I'm going to do that for you. You keep the airplane flying straight and more or less level and retrim as necessary. I'm going to start coming up on your flaps for you. So now we're at 40 degrees going to 30. Here you go. Feel the airplane kind of sink there a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to pick up speed, obviously. You can imagine, someday we'll do it. We'll just go all the way up on the flaps from 40 to 0, and you'll feel it just sink quite a bit. That could get a little dicey if you're close to the ground. Now I'm going to go up to about 20. Now 10. Yep, good.
Well, departing on runway 14 southbound Tranquility.
All right, nice. And then you can set us up for cruise at about 2,400 RPM. So set your pitch attitude, set your power, then trim as necessary. Nice, looks good. Good, so you got a good feel for the airplane. You got good,
Yeah.
you don't like it. Well, I've had guys, you look like you're doing okay. I've had some guys where they just, I get done and their knuckles are white because they were holding so hard on it.
Right.
Like, you'll find that a nice, easy feel on the plane is like, and you do what's comfortable for you, but just a light grip is all that's necessary. Just helps you relax, helps you just get a feel for it, and you're doing really well. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'd say on the average, you know, if you go slow learner, fast learner, average, you're on the faster side of things as far as just, at least at this point, just by seeing your just kind of natural feel for the airplane. So,
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I like to hear that.
that's a good thing. You know, hopefully a little encouragement. I mean, there are
Yeah.
many things. Don't get discouraged if it takes. You know, maybe landings will take a while. I don't know. I mean, but everybody learns at different rates. But as of now, it's looking real good.
right now.
What we'll do now is
600 to 5500.
so we get some slow flight just to get an idea. Now, one of the things you'll do on your check ride with slow flight is you'll have the airplane slowed down, and then you'll actually maneuver that way. You'll do turns, and that really shows your need for rudder and turns, and it shows how well you can fly the airplane coordinated. We don't need to go that far today. I just like to do it because we're going to go in and land. We're going to use flaps on landing, so that way you kind of get a feel for what to expect.
Okay.
Let me grab this just real quick out of his pocket here.
I don't think this is all beaver.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll shoot for about a 65 knots on, about 65 on final.
Wow.
So what we'll do is we'll, again, the first few flights will just kind of be a little bit of repetition. We'll be doing the same, maybe add one or two things to it, but doing a lot of the same.
Sure.
So we'll kind of just get a little bit of the gamut today, and I just was kind of seeing how you were going to do, and you know, let's go ahead and we're going to turn back towards the airport here in just a second.
Is that it, straight east of this?
That's exactly it over there.
Okay.
Yep. And you can actually even start your turn now. We'll make some radio calls, and we'll listen to the weather again to make sure the winds are still favoring the runway we think they are.
Okay.
And we'll go back in and we'll run the pattern once or twice, whatever we got time for. Just so, hey, you've got a feel for that. So
we're going to enter a 45 left downwind?
Yep, that would actually be pretty good for the way, just the way we're set up today. That's perfect. You know, you may not always, it might sometimes be a straight in on the downwind, but you're going to be dead nuts for a 45 to the left downwind for runway 15. Let's listen to the weather real quick.
2,500.
So something else John told me, so as far as like...
Memorial automated weather observation. 1441 Zulu weather. Wind 150 at nightmare. Visibility.
Okay, so that makes
Nice.
sense. Yep, go ahead. What you got?
I'll just say, as far as traffic pattern, he said about the runway halfway up your wing strut.
Yeah, that should be pretty good. We're looking for like 1,000 feet above airport elevation. So
I'm going to go ahead and start descending a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Nice, easy descent. That'll be fine. And I'll make
Are
a
you
radio
flying
call
straight
that we're-
there?
I'm going to guess. I'm just
I'm
guessing.
keeping on my line on
miles
my
out here to the east, I'm
GPS.
going to guess.
Okay.
Camden traffic, Cessna 733 Echo Delta is about 8 miles to the east, inbound for left traffic runway 15 at Camden.
Yeah, you ought to be able to see Table Rock off to your left. That's about it.
And you'll see going downhill, depending on how fast you're descending, and it's more or less, everybody goes, well, how fast should I get downhill? Well,
We got
whatever
the,
feels
we got a
comfortable,
lake
you know,
here
you go down
inside,
1,000 feet a
but,
minute, your ears are going to
I didn't ever see one
like crazy.
stop. Here's a bridge going across.
And you'll feel the
What's
engines
the
picking
highway
up a
down
little
here?
bit, so
160?
we're already going, so no need to slow it down yet.
You should be going across the Kings
As long as you're
River
not
Bridge.
exceeding any limitations on the red line of the engine, like...
Right.
We're going across the bridge right now. Yeah, there should be an airport right up there, right in front of you.
We'll shoot to aim for like this
Now, we
side
can
of the
pass
airport,
private
maybe,
one here.
maybe a little bit to the left, so you have
on the map.
aim just to this side of the
Should be
middle
a
of the
paved
field.
there.
So when you make your turn to the right,
flying by probably
you're
off a
not
little bit off to your
give yourself
right
some
wing.
time. Get yourself some time. So maybe aim
basically
for
right
the
under you.
hangar that's like on this side of the runway to the left. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, the big one.
The big one, yeah.
The big building. Okay.
Yep. So aim yourself a little bit for that.
Okay.
And we like to make our radio calls like kind of initially when we're headed in. In theory, it's like 10 miles out, give or take. Maybe make it, depending on how busy it is, maybe make another one like 4 or 5 miles out. And then
we just passed Berryville. We're probably 2 or 3 miles.
And what we'll do is we'll do a full stop
we're about 2 or 3 miles.
We won't do a touch and go necessarily today.
Okay.
So we'll do a full stop, taxi back, and I think we'll have time to go around the pattern.
Yeah, you'll be there having dinner before we make it.
And if anything, you sometimes go, just like you need right rudder going uphill, going up, sometimes you may need a little left rudder going down, depending on how fast you're going down, because the exact same reason, it's just the opposite.
Okay. Cool. Updraft?
Oh, yeah. Not too bad. I'm going to say once you get established on your downwind, we're going to try and see if we can find some power settings.
Cheyenne 9039 Juliet Bravo is taking the active 2-2 for a northwest departure.
We're going to be trying to find some power settings that work well for us to give us the speeds that we want so we can use our flaps. So I'm going to say no need for it necessarily right now, but as we're going to be kind of working our way down to we're going to shoot for about 2200 RPM or so on the downwind. And that should give us a speed that allow us to get our first notch of flaps set up there. So you can kind of start to work the power back a little bit there.
At 2200?
Yeah, maybe you bring it back to like 23 or 24 for now, and then on the downwind, by the time we're established on the downwind, 2200. Let's try that and see how it works.
Okay.
4 landing seats and seat belts. Fuel selector is both. Mixture is rich. We didn't mess with that. And carburetor heat, we'll talk about that and my thoughts on that as necessary. We'll call it as necessary.
Okay.
Looking good. Now you come back to your 2200 RPM. That should work out well. Give it time for the airplane to slow down to a speed that will work for us. Camden traffic, Cessna 3 Echo Delta is on a 45 to left downwind, runway 15, full stop, Camden.
Oh, you want me to go ahead and enter my 45?
We'll get just a little bit closer, and then we'll make you're kind of on your 45 now.
Okay.
And so what we'll do is, I'd say about